Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxy, and we're going to channel once again today. Thanks again for tuning in. Got a little itch. Big frog. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. And then series of nows to come. We will invite that of Jane, a speaker, to come in and impart upon that of humanity, for their choosing in their, let's say now, to understand from one perspective that of the 12 Indoctrines. She will speak upon each, build one upon the other, till the idea is complete, and she will give her own, let's say, impartations upon those ideas at the, let's say, circumferencing idea at the end. Bring it together as a package idea for you to ponder. It is that of the, let's say, unwritten ideas from the speaker generations upon your earth. There are several ideas of speakers. There are several civilizations upon thousands of, let's say, collapsed timelines that have brought forth their ideas, spoken words to impart upon humanity in their journey home. There are several ideas of 12 Indoctrines in and of themselves. They all fit the idea of a certain space-time now according to humanity's own evolution. In other words, it's not the same in all timelines. For that would be counterproductive in that idea. And greetings to the collective humanity. This is Jane from, let's say, this perspective coming from the idea of a speaker. We will impart, as Ocyphius has mentioned, the idea of a certain 12 Indoctrines. Those Indoctrines are ideas of evolution of humanity. These particular ideas, which will, let's say, we will give you through this idea, this conduit, is one set upon your Egyptian mystery schools on a second Egypt idea. Not the current Egypt you understand in your space-time now in being within your discovered civilizations. It is a parallel Egypt, if you will. It was not called Egypt, but your representation will allow that idea to be birthed, and then you can dwell within that. And then it'll shift because it is encoded with the ideas within there. The first Indoctrine we would like to discuss is that of the idea which you have come to understand, the mirror. The title of it is truly, the entire universe is 100%, and we will paraphrase in translation so you can understand more equivocally. The idea, the universe is 100%, always will be, subjective. Always. This may, at first glance, be an idea of, let's say, obvious, of course. However, within the collective of, let's say, polarity that is present, there is always birthed within the civilization of humanity through its construct of fear, validating objective view. Everything is subjective. Everything is you. It is always the mirror that, let's say, returns to you your own view of yourself in the idea of reality. The subjective point of view is your journey home. In the idea of outside of the polarity of being what you call a human, this doesn't exist in a way of judgment. There is no objective outside of humanity in the idea of polarity. The objective is observership in all that is. However, subjective is how you know you view the objective. Everything is your own vibration telling you you are this in this idea. There are incidences and coincidences throughout the universe that the subjective point of view has variations within. Remember, we are speaking to and from the perspective, subjective view in this now, of humanity. So we will remain in the idea of this, let's say, viewship and also impartation of humanity's overall point of view. Everything that you understand is subjective from what you perceive reality to be. If you sit and dwell for a few nows and understand that every single moment of your waking idea of self-awareness upon birth, in the idea of this polarity paradigm you have chosen, you then can see everything is subjective. You can go as far as, which we taught in the first initiate school, that the only person within any of the dwellings in all the space-time now of each one of the initiates was the only one there. We idealize this in the form of, let's say, reiterating in all nows that whatever the vibration of that initiate was, let's say, projecting, we would respond in like manner. That is built in, of course. However, we did a series of, let's say, focused awareness of all subjective ideas, initiates, to have them understand every single action had a result in the mirror which was 100% equivocal to the vibration of their awareness of that action. The awareness of the action is always subjective. There is no out there. There cannot be an out there. Everything is your subjective view of your creation. When you put out an energy field, that field bursts reality. That energy is then taken in a subjective view of another, and that bursts that person, which bursts the reality for them, which gives that person an idea of creation from a subjective point of view, from your subjective point of view. And that energy is transferred now twice to the third person, which bursts that reality, which only reinforces my reality of my own birthing, because I have received my own idea reinforcement of my action. You cannot take an action without birthing reality. That action is your subjective view of what action is according to every now of vibration. It can be no other way. Because once again, as Ocyphius so nicely put, there's no one on the other side of the mirror. If you can view that you, once again, are the only idea in this reality, in all of your nows, you will automatically, through your own subjective fear, Start to take awareness of your own vibratory state in all actions. At the beginning, this will cause a distortion within you and keep you in a, let's say, limiting idea, a little paralyzed. For fear of action on results will be at play in the beginning. But as humanity always discovers through its own actions of non-action, there always comes a time of your perceived boredom. That perceived boredom only drives you to birth more reality, for that's what you are, constant creators, reinforcing all that is with your own love. So we spend 12 to 15 weeks, if you will, idealizing, and we will use an, let's say, limiting term for this space-time now, drilling into the idea initiate that they're the only game in town. They are the only idea of themselves. They are the only one giving, and the receivership is their own subjective view of their vibration, of their energy, of their thoughts, of their emotions, of their awareness, of their individual singularity, which has given them life. So when you look upon your mirror in each and every now, that represents an idea of you. We understand it is deep in controversy that the mirror is still reflecting that of fear when much of you have, let's say, not chosen to give the vibratory state of fear. Yet you still are encompassed by the idea of your media, the idea of your news, your Facebook interactions, your, let's say, communication. There's still the presence of fear. Yet you don't want fear in your reality anymore. Yet fear always, let's say, rears its idea ugly head. For the fact of the matter, in this short-term idea, that idea is this: you are in fear. When you choose no longer no fear, period, you choose no longer the idea of the viewship from the subjective point of view in this space-time now, that this is fear. When you understand you are creating the fear from a subjective point of view, this will heighten your, let's say, awareness of how you truly are in the space-time now creating fear out of your simple view. When that idea of polarity is given to you, it is your subjective choice how to view it. You must dwell on this. Because if there is an idea of a comparison of any way, shape, or form, that idea is not creation love, then it is most certainly your subjective view of your own reality. It is all your choice how to view the mirror. Your energizing idea of viewship gives you that in return. I see this subjectively. It is the idea of something I don't prefer. It represents itself in a new version, however, it has reminiscence of the idea I no longer prefer. So there's your subjective choice. It is love. It is creation. That idea just birthed you and reinforced your own reality. View it as this. The idea of viewing everything as creation is a daunting task for humanity. As the Indoctrine 1 idea was given as choice to understand, we have found through several ideas of initiate schools through thousands of collapsed timelines that the essential fundamental in the first idea is to realize that you are the subjective view of everything. So when you start to see that it is truly me choosing this idea, if it slights you, if it upsets you, which is wonderful, if it takes you out of what you perceive as balance, there is no balance. Balance is always built in. but you perceive it takes you out of balance. That is you tilting your own view of yourself. There is no one else here in the idea of this illusion. I am love. I give you back what you perceive yourself to be because you give me the equivocal vibration of what you're choosing. I shift myself into the reality of your choice. I choose you to see how I am. The way I choose my subjective view of humanity is my own understanding of myself. I cannot give you something you do not choose. There is no infringement upon that because there's only one of us. There is only one. All viewing ourselves from the idea of ourselves. What that viewship continues to give you is what you validate as viewship in that now from a subjective standpoint of treasure. The treasure of your own validation of existence. This journey is the idea of validating over and over and over again the heightened awareness of truths that you understand to perceive. The more you journey into yourself, the more larger your reality becomes in ways that are beyond your expectations. Those expectations now being let go of by more of the collective and truly, let's say, letting it ride, so to speak, in the idea of trusting the reality. That vibration shifts the reality because you have no energetic intention to shift the reality out of fear. You're more neutral. That neutrality in and of itself has shifted the idea of humanity to allow more heightened awareness of different variations of fear that represent themselves that no longer, let's say, are so valid. And again, humanity ascends for this simple reason. But if you, now the collective of humanity who choose to perceive this as A, good, B, bad, makes no difference, C, knowing it's all love, and working your way through that paradigm, can now see that the heightened awareness of the vibratory state of humanity is now ready to always, in every now, always view yourself as a human, 1, 2, in the human perspective, and 3, everything is subjective. If someone presents you with an idea of fear, you chose that. You chose not, listen, to have it happen to you. You chose that interaction and you chose how to view it. The subjective point of view once again. One is, let's say, harmed in front of you. That harm is 1, A, love. 2, B, fear. If you think you are in that idea receiving fear, then so be it. Subjective. If you see it as creation birthing itself into the continuation of all that is, only reinforcing your own existence, then maybe now you can see you will not choose that as an idea of fear. For that harm that you perceive it is a choice of all involved. Everyone views it as what they perceive it, which is you perceiving it. You will never see from my perspective. I will never see from your perspective, as long as you are seeing two different perspectives, subjective and objective. Dwell upon this. I am all that is. You are all that is. You perceive as you choose, therefore you perceive as you choose. Simple. Everything is subjective. This is all we have for this space-time now. I will return you to that of Ocyphius. It has been an honor once again to work with, let's say, this timeline civilization of humanity. I will now depart and return you once again. I bid you a good day. and our eternal thanks to that of Jane. All right, this is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. This is all we have for this space-time now. Until our next interaction, always view yourself as you. I bid you a good now, or don't I? Booyah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, I love you, and we'll get this up. And thanks again for tuning in.